Over the last 6 years, I have tried different behaviors and paid a lot of attention in what I consume in my body to improve and increase my discipline and productivity. In this video, I'm going to share what worked for me, and maybe there is something you can start doing today. The way I see discipline is that it's a compound effect. The more you are disciplined in certain areas of your life, the easier it will be for you to be disciplined in other parts of your life. But also this could go the other way around. That's why I prefer to stay in track in all areas of my life, so then I can be more productive and I can achieve the things that I want to do every day. The first thing we need to do is to separate discipline with motivation. Why being motivated is easier for being more disciplined, it will not always be like that. Sometimes we have to do what we need to do without being motivated. And it's in my philosophy that the more we optimize our body and our brain and our environment, it will be easier for us to be disciplined and to achieve all these different tasks and habits that we want to do in our lives. First, we start with the environment, and this is where you live, your room, and your living space. For me, I have noticed that the more disorganized, the more it takes out of my energy and my motivation to do things and to actually put the work. So I always, when I work at home, the first thing I do is try to organize my space, where I sleep and everything, so I feel that my brain is starting to organize as well, and it makes it easier to do the following tasks. And this is something that everyone notices, that when you have to do, for example, certain tasks, let's say you have to study or you have to do certain work at home, you sometimes delay it by cleaning and organizing the room. And we call this procrastination, but I wouldn't call it like that. I actually think it's our brain telling us, please organize, please clean everything before we can do a harder or more intense mental activity. And instead of trying to feeling bad about that, let's embrace it, and just first thing you do is organize your room, organize your bed, put everything in order, make sure your clothes and everything is washed, and this will start your day in a positive way for you to be able to tackle all the tasks that you need to do. Then we need to optimize our mental state. And mental state can be divided between emotionally and physiologically. And they're very interconnected, because sometimes we feel down emotionally and we think it's something related to our surroundings, but it's rather our brain physiology that is telling us a message. For example, if you don't sleep properly and you go many days without sleeping, you know you will be a little bit more anxious and maybe have some depressive symptoms because you didn't sleep properly. So we need to really focus on all the different aspects to improve and optimize our brain physiology, which is also related to our general health. If you have a clear state of mind, it will facilitate for you to be more disciplined and productive during the day. And it's really important how you end and how you start your day. For me, I plan my day to at least go to sleep early enough that I will have at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day. Then you wake up refreshed, and for me, what I try now is to go outside and to get some sunlight. And this was recommended by Andrew Huberman, and it definitely helps. And even if it's cold in the winter and you see that this is really good to also have this cold shock, because it wakes you up. And when I go outside and get some sun, it will make it easier for me to then go to sleep that night. Another behavior that I've been trying is to meditate at least 5 to 10 minutes every day. And of course, no one is perfect, and sometimes in a rush, sometimes I'm lazy, sometimes I don't want to do it. But every time I do it, I really feel a difference. I feel like I clear my mind for a little bit. I feel that I can start my day properly, and it's just a very good way to start your day. And lastly, something that is part of my morning routine and many people forget about it is to drink water. Stay hydrated. And you will be surprised how many people just don't do it. And then you go through the day and if your body is asking you for water and you're not, and that will make your mind to be a little bit in chaos. Some studies have shown that for kids, that if they drink a cup of water on their first class in school, they got better grades and they will pay better attention, and they will have better behaviors just by drinking water. So when your body is physiologically in homeostasis, you are stronger and you work better. In the book of Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow, he mentions how our brain has a maximum, let's say, energy to achieve certain tasks. The more we put effort on our brain for doing certain tasks, the harder it will be and the lazier we get to, let's say, for example, make decisions later on. So one way that we can optimize our life is to avoid having any temptation at home. For example, having junk food. Even though you're very disciplined to only eat it once in a while, or you're very responsible with that, having that at home and already saying no to it, it will make it harder for you. For example, later in the day, let's say you meet some friends, you meet your partner, and you go out for eating, you will be more likely to eat some junk food that you didn't want to eat. It's better not to have them at all at home, even though you're very strong, because these temptations reduce your willpower, and the more you're tempted, the harder it will be for you to say no to things you don't want to take or say yes to the things you want to do. I think it's in the goal of everyone to be able to train consistently to achieve your fitness goals. For me, what I do is I train early in the morning. And the reason I do that, even though sometimes I don't have enough time, because no one's life is perfect, sometimes we just wake up very late, is because it set off my day for a good start. Because I know if I at least did 15 or 20 minutes, even though it might not be so productive for your fitness, it still set me up that I did what I have to do. So it feels good, it feels that I'm already in track, and I will not give excuses to myself to not do the rest of the day. And it also helps me to sleep better and earlier. Even if you don't have enough time to try to do something, because this is a compound effect that builds up in all your other habits, and it will be easier for you to be disciplined for all your aspects of your life. While we can control a lot in our homes and maybe at work, we still like to socialize and go out with friends. There are certain temptations that we are not so aware. We all know, for example, eating a lot of junk food, refined foods, or really fried food, sugary foods are not so good, and that make us harder for, let's say no afterwards if we already started. There are certain foods that might not be bad for us, and maybe they're even good, that have a similar effect. For example, bread. Many restaurants, they give you bread at the beginning and you think it's free and it's nice and it's just an appetizer, but what it causes is that it opens your appetite, and then you're more likely to order, for example, a sugary drink or a dessert, or to order more food that you really wanted. So be careful with eating bread in restaurants, because it might have another goal. For many people, your goal might be also to drink less or not drink at all. But we all like to still go out, maybe go to bars, meet friends. And even though I don't drink, what I notice is that when you go, for example, to a very loud and dark bar, you cannot really talk with people. This is made on purpose. Because, for example, you want to relate with your friends or maybe someone you like, and you cannot communicate properly. You start feeling anxious. And this anxiety makes you drink more or even smoke or even consume drugs, because you want to relax yourself to be able to communicate. The end result is worse, because you communicate less, and then you end up drinking more. That, of course, by drinking affects everything else downstream, that it will reduce your willpower to say no to other things. So next time, something you can do, even though we still want to go out with friends and everything, try to choose, instead of a loud and dark bar, maybe go to a restaurant or go to a cafe where the music is not so loud, so you can talk with your friends and you don't have this urge to drink or do something else that you don't want to do. Pay a lot of attention in what you consume every day, because there might be certain foods or drink that will make you less or more likely to do certain behavior. I hope you learned something today, and maybe there's some habits or behavior that you can start applying. If you're interested about supplements that could increase your health and lifespan, and may even improve your athletic performance, check my last video about taurine.